Welcome back, guys, to the Coins and Connections podcast. This is your girl, Cinquanta Cox-Smith, and we are going to continue to explore all things books, business, and bullshit. Let's get into today's episode. Hey guys, episode 18. Welcome back to the podcast. Yes, I have been a little inconsistent, but every other week kind of sounds good right now. Forgive me. This episode will be filled with valuable information, lessons learned, and some hard truths. I didn't get to this stage that I am currently in overnight, and it took years and it took a whole lot of confidence. So get your pen and your paper out, pause the podcast real quick, and I'm going to give you a word bank of words that you need to get familiar with. And I may not go over all of the words in this episode, so for you at your own pace to go and look each one up along with your state laws. We are going to get into legally and business. And before I give you the word bank, let's just take a time or 3 seconds to celebrate Coins and Connections LLC is officially in business and officially legal in the state of Virginia. Okay, hand clap, twerk, do whatever you need to do, but we is here. So here are a few words that you need to get familiar with. So business name, also DBA, doing business as. Business entity name, you can look up the application to reserve or renew a business name. Most states you can hold that for 120 days and you would have to renew it. Cost is by state. EIN, also known as FEIN, which is a number that you would get that is basically not your social, but for business purposes. Clerk of Court, LLC. LLC is a limited liability corporation. A business bank account, business debit card, EFTPS, which stands for Electronic Federal Tax Payment System. So this is for anyone who wants to do estimated taxes, and instead of just sending it manually through snail mail, you can do this online. Commissioner of Revenue, business license, treasurer, gusto, taxation, IREG, Commonwealth, Department of Taxation, and pass-through entity. So now that you have some of these words, this is some homework for you, and you can look up these words. And while we move on to the next segment, I'm going to share my journey and the costs. So I get asked a lot, how did you start your podcast? Where do I begin? How can I start a podcast? Well, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. You know, I'm down with the free. There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Like, ain't nobody listening yet and you making money. How dope is that? It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So what are you waiting on? Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Okay, so it's super easy to get overwhelmed by the information, the paperwork, and all of the advice that is out there. This is why I am telling you, and I will continue to tell you, do your research. Do your research on how to start a business and how to start a business in your state. we will talk about this later on about how people register businesses in other states, and that's completely up to you. That is not the advice that I'm giving, but I understand why people do certain things. So do your research on how to start a business in your state, in the state website. That will be the best place for you to start. Also, the smallbusiness.gov website has a lot of information, and it's sba.gov. So to be completely honest, I completed this entire process in 2 days, and my upfront cost was $125 in total, and that is in the state of Virginia. I am a military spouse, and we do move a lot. So with that, I will have a lot of things that will happen for me. I will close business in one state, open up in another state, close business, or maybe open up a foreign business in another state, transfer things, dish out more money. But for me, it's worth it because I'm going to act like a business. If my business closed in one state, what do I have to do? I have to abide by the rules in another state. And that's just what I feel I will do. There's a lot of ways you can cut corners, but I'm not going to do that. One thing I'm not going to play with is my freedom. I'm not going to play with my freedom. I'm not going to play with the IRS. So that's that. This does not, this upfront cost does not include anything extra that I did. And it does not include the amount of money that I deposited into my business checking and savings account. So most new accounts like that, they do not require you to deposit a certain amount, and some bank accounts do. So mine just required that I put something in it, and it wasn't like a certain amount. So I deposited how much I wanted to deposit and what I had on hand. So when you go to research the bank you want to use, and what they offer, make sure that you look to see if they have a deposit amount and open an account amount. So just do your research and be prepared to have your money deposited at the time of your account being made. If you are not prepared to file an LLC, what you can do right now is you can reserve your business name in your city or your state. Your state. Oh, excuse me. My state cost was $10, but and I found that out because at one point last year I thought I was ready to do all this, and I was gonna go reserve my name, but I'm kind of glad that I waited because I didn't know what I wanted the name to be, and I racked my head around it, but I did a little hustling backwards, and I kind of feel like I'm glad I waited because the other day I was driving home from work, and it became clear that you already have your business name, you already have things in place. What are you waiting for? So the fact that I put out this podcast, Coins and Connections, last year, I put out a Coins and Connection Black Box, aka Coins and Connection University. My website, Coins and Connection, is doing really well. Why would I not want that to be my business name, my umbrella for everything I'm doing? And it flows well, and things come together with my books and author business, so it was just like a no-brainer. So that's how I kind of came up with my name. It was already something that was attached to me, and at that point it wasn't a hard decision as well at all. So that's just what I did. So because I didn't need to reserve my name, I went ahead and filed my LLC at one time online. And when you do your LLC online or in person, you are basically reserving your name. Most state websites allow you to go on and search to make sure your business name is not taken in that state. And that's a part of the LLC process as well. So in Virginia, it was $100, and I completed it all online. I did pay additional $6 to get like a certificate through the mail, and I also printed out the two that it gave me online. And this was my choice to pay the $6 to get the certificate. But whatever you print out online is legal and liable for you to use when you go do your paperwork and stuff. So why I decided to do an LLC? Well, because I'm currently making a large amount of money and I needed to add an extra layer of protection, which is the liability. I also provide a service and would like to protect my assets in the event of a lawsuit. So with me giving advice, just like a lawyer, just like anyone else, I'm calling myself a coach, I'm calling myself a consultant. I just need that extra layer of protection. And I am also in the market for business insurance that will also protect me from anything, malpractice, a dispute with a client, anything. Just, I'll have that insurance to provide me some cushion if in the event something was to happen, I had to battle something. And we're just not going to speak any of that into our business. But things happen. So these are just layers of protection. So this will be something you have to decide for your business and how you want to run it. I basically was running my business as a sole proprietor for a very long time. But at the same time, I kept looking at my business as a side hustle. And at a certain point, especially when I made the 10K in the fourth quarter, I was no longer a side hustle. Any amount of money that is attached to your social security number, the IRS can see that. So if you want to go years and years without legally, and you have these large amounts of money continuing to be attached to your social account, your bank account, because Cash App is connected to most bank accounts, and when large amount of monies, and I think they start looking at 10,000, you better be crossing those T's and dotting those I's, baby. Best believe. Again, when I said I'm not going to play with my freedom and I'm not going to play with the IRS. I was a tax preparer for 3 years, so trust and believe I've seen it all. So again, this is your decision, but keeping things separate is a must. Keeping those receipts and records of everything and things that are your personal stuff and business, keeping them separate even when you're not an LLC is very important. So I did look for a bank to open a business checking account with, and they did ask for my LLC info and my EIN. So another reason I did something was I registered for a personal EIN under my name, and then I had a doing business as Coins and Connections. So you cannot use the same EIN that is attached to your personal name and your business name. You will have to get a new one. Same thing for the EFTPM, the estimated taxes. If you sign up with your real name and not your business name, you must get a new account. So these are two things that I had to do twice. One for my personal name and then one for Coins and Connections. Again, do your research and make sure you are doing what is best for you. You can probably still do this without the doing business as and EIN, but just make sure all the names are consistent. So I know you can probably open a business bank account with doing business as or a reserve name, but I'm pretty sure you're probably going to need an EIN. Just make sure, again, do your research. I think I just said that twice. So after I opened my bank account, I started to take my routing number and account number, and I uploaded it to all my platforms that pay me, like Gumroad, Amazon, Etsy, and Shopify, to make sure that now, because these are large sums of money that I receive from whether it's Coins and Connections or from consulting or Amazon, that it's connected to that EIN and that business name, and it goes into my business account. I also reached out to Nicole Walters, who is my rich friend, and she recommended this service called Gusto. Gusto, y'all excuse me because my throat is so dry. I have to drink some water. Okay, so Gusto is a business payroll app website, and it's it's good for HR and payroll so that I can add myself as an employee so I can get paid. So this is good for anyone who is starting to look for employees, to hire someone who, and not even if you have employees, but yourself. If you want to make sure that you're putting yourself on payroll and that you can provide separate income from the business and for your personal income, this is a must to me. So I added myself as an employee and I set up direct deposit so I can be paid from Coins and Connections. I am a manager at owner at Coins and Connections. So business, personal. I am employed by my company. I will have federal and state taxes taken out of my paycheck. I get direct deposit, and at the end of the year, I will receive a W-2 from Coins and Connections. The paperwork is all handled by Gusto. They will send the paperwork to the IRS. They will help you file the necessary tax paperwork, and all of that paperwork will be in that system. So they do offer a free trial, and I will leave my link below because if you sign up for Gusto, we both get money. So I will leave my link in the description. And what else I was going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, they do a free trial. And after that, I did like the core package, which is great for my situation. And it's $39 and then $6 per employee. This is amazing for anyone who has either a brick and mortar business or will be hiring contractors throughout the year to do X amount of work. If you're paying somebody more than $1,000 and it's not attached to like Fiverr or something, and you are paying them because they have a business and you're paying them for a service, this is an amazing way to do that. So also, that took some time to set up though. It really did. It took some time to set up, and while I thought I was done, I kept doing some research at that, and then I called around to some places. So found out that I needed to get a business license. So I went to get a business license, and this was $25, but it was easier. It was super easy because I'm online, so I didn't have to go to like the zoning and planning office. I just provided my EIN and LLC paperwork to my county officials, and then I paid them and I got my license. So that was 2 days of hardcore work, calls to the IRS, and, basically making some mistakes along the way. And like I said earlier, when I first started, I did it wrong. So I have an EIN and EFTPS numbers in accounts under my personal name, and which I probably didn't need, but I'm going to keep it, and we're here now. And I never have to really use them, or I can. It just depends. I can use it for my PayPal account strictly because I don't know if I'm going to connect that to my business account because I've had it so long under my regular name. But I can go into my PayPal business account and use my personal EIN, and everything that's tracked there will just be under my personal EIN. And that's just how this goes sometimes when you're not sure and you do things wrong. So I'm hoping this is giving you some type of clarity. Are you still with me? Are you confused? And are you lost? And do we need to do a part 2? All right, so I am going to answer a few questions that I got from my Facebook group. And if you haven't already, make sure you join if you are struggling in your side hustle, hobby, or business. There's so much valuable information in the group. Also, some amazing individuals. And truly and honestly, I just want you to win. So go in there. We tackle lots of startups with no money, and all you need is a laptop, a phone, an iPad, something just to get you started, child. But the first question is, what are the risks of waiting? Or what are the risks the longer we wait? Basically, what happens when we wait longer to be legally bind to something, I believe. I feel that it's like you're backtracking a little bit. the longer you wait, you don't have the necessary systems in place that you could have if you were legal. There's so much more to offer you as a true small business. Like they said, act like a business if you want to be treated like a business, if you want to be looked at as someone who is running a ship. You are offered more advice, and just it's like this little secret society. And you can get to these things, but they're a little bit harder when you're just doing it like that. Also, and I'm going to say this, the longer you wait, the more money you make, the harder it is to backtrack and pinpoint how you made this money. It's so much, y'all. Are there any penalizations for not being legal when you start? There is not. I just know that I've always been paid by 1099 most of the time. So in that case, I've always recorded that with the IRS. I've always sent that information in. I've always filed my taxes, or I've always tried to pay estimated taxes. So there's not no penalization, but you need to be making sure you report that income. What is one thing you wish you would have known starting the process? Child, the order of the process. From reserving the name to getting my business license last, because I sat here a whole day thinking I was done, and then in the middle of the day, the next day, I realized, oh girl, you're not done. You need a business license. So I wish I truly knew like the order of how these things go. So to you, this is what I'll say. The order for me, what I feel like you need to do is reserve your name. If you're not ready to do a LLC, a S Corp, corporation, any of that stuff, or even a LLP, which is a limited liability partnership, reserve your name. Some states allow you to do it online, some don't. If you can't do it online, go into your clerk of court and reserve your name. It shouldn't be that much. It should be less than $50 to reserve the name. Again, my state said 120 days to reserve the name. So that means until you are ready to have your LLC, whenever that couple of days is up for your name reservation, you will have to go in and renew it. If you are ready to do your LLC or whatever S Corp, then no, reserve your name, get a EIN when you are truly sure that that is your name. So the name that you reserved it under, you could either let it expire, because now you have a new name, and whatever your name is and that is going to be, please make sure you get your EIN under that name. Once you get your EIN under the name that you are sure about, get your LLC. Open up your business account, apply for the estimated payments, go get your business license, and then you need to figure out how you're going to handle your payroll stuff. There are QuickBooks, there's Ways, there's just a whole lot of different websites, but so far I'm loving Gusto. So that is what I wish I would have known, the order of the process. Suggestions on what state to be registered in. I've heard and read this differs for tax breaks. Listen, I ain't playing with none of that. If I'm in this state, that's the state I'm a register. I'm not going to go to Colorado because Colorado is $20. Like, to me, are you going to visit Colorado? Are you going to go do there? Is everything in Colorado able to be done online? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Do I have to show up in person? Now, if somebody sue me, do I have to go to court in Colorado? Because my business was registered in Colorado. Now, let's be real. Let's do things that make sense. Just because you get a tax break in Alaska, does that mean you're going to register your business in Alaska? Because Alaska is $10 and the state you in is $250. I'm going to bite that cost, because homegirl ain't fitting to jump on a plane to Alaska to appear in court because I wanted to save some coins, and then I end up paying more coins. So look up the laws for your state. And listen, this is for my military spouses and my veterans. I have heard of some things. You have to look it up. I don't know that some veterans and military spouses affiliates can get their business and LLCs for a discounted amount by going through something. It's a form you have to fill out. I do not remember the name of it, but look it up if you're military affiliated. When should you switch from sole proprietor to LLC? Listen, baby. Anywhere between $2,000 and $10,000. If you make that in 1 month, go ahead from your business. Go ahead and get yourself together. Go ahead and get your LLC. You don't have to do anything extra other than open up a business bank account and get your EIN and have your funds go into that business bank account. And if you are not ready to do a certain way and pay yourself, get your business checks. Write a check to your name. Write a check to yourself as your employee, and basically write it out like that, payroll. So you don't have to do anything extra. LLC, EIN, business bank account. Pay all your business bills from your bank account. That's why it's all in one spot. Get all your deposits to your business bank account. It's all in one spot. Again, if you need to take some money out to pay yourself, write yourself a check or do a money order to yourself from your business bank account. And on that note, I think I am done with all the questions. I know there will be more questions. I know you guys will have questions about the process even more. Join the group and we can finish the discussion over there. You can email me again at hello@cinquantacoxsmith.com. Hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever I bees at, Snapchat, slide in a DM. Book your call so you can get these edges snatch. I was going to say eyelashes, but I don't do nothing about no eyelashes. But get these edges snatched and you have your draw on the floor. 30 minutes, I will get your life together. And I got the receipts for that. So go ahead and book a call with me so we can get you together. And let's finish this discussion online. If you guys have more questions, we will do a part 2 about being legally in business. And again, thank you guys so much for listening. Please leave a review. I'm asking you, and it is actually March 8th, which is International Women's Day. So shout out to all us badass women. I am also giving away $100 on my Coins and Connection page. So go over there, get you a shirt and a candle from Elon Wick. And we are motivating and moving to protect Black women, and tag your business in the comment section, purchase a shirt or a candle, and use the discount code March 30 for 30% off. And I am going to sew into one Black owned woman business this month, and I'm excited about this. So go over there and support, and I hope this episode brings you some clarity, some things that you need to know to get yourself together. And I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for listening and subscribing. Don't forget to share and leave a review for this podcast. If you have any questions, you can email me at hello@cinquantacoxsmith.com. You can follow me on Instagram at cinquantacoxsmith and at coinsandconnections.com. My websites are www.cinquantacoxsmith.com and www.coinsandconnections.com. You can join my Facebook group at Books Plus Business with Cinquanta Cox-Smith. I love you more than I love this podcast. Peace.